Alright, so we are knee-deep into October now, so that means we are now firmly in the most aesthetically pleasing time of year, Spooky Month.
Ooh, scary.
So of course, in a season with so much iconic media and imagery attached to it, I'm going to do something a little bit different than you might expect and touch on a topic I've clearly not said enough about.
Bobert.
Yes, as the title may have tipped you off to, I have something Halloween-y to say about the BOBSTER. And as I'm sure everyone in my audience falls somewhere on the Bob-loving spectrum, I'm sure you'll all be excited to find out how this confirms that Bobert is canonically the most adorable character in Elmore. That is, of course, unless you're a 12th level Bob fan. In that case, you've obviously already come to this conclusion yourself ages ago. But for the more amateur Bob fans among us, don't worry, I'll lead you through it. Let's go. So, of course, up there with skeletons and the greatest TV specials of all time. A defining element of Halloween, of course, being the variety of fun and unique costumes that people wear in the season. With most good Halloween specials going out of their way to give their characters equally fun and unique costumes that reflect their personality or interests really well. Now, with the Amazing World of Gumball having as much care and effort put into it as it does, the show goes out of its way to give all of its characters some sort of Halloween-y redesign. Now, depending on the character, they'll either be dressed as some sort of Halloween staple or a fun pop culture reference, but either way, they are all dressed as something. Well, all but one. The one in question, of course, being Bobert. Now, sure, taking this in at face value, it might not seem like much. The majority of the class are 2D, so it's very easy to make costumes for them, but Bobert's a 3D character, so you'd have to model and rig a bunch of new elements in order to give him an outfit. So if you were gonna cut costs, it would make sense that it would be here. But this line of thought doesn't add up. There are plenty of 3D characters throughout the show who all get uniquely modeled Halloween costumes, some of which having just as little screen time as Bobert here. Besides, even if for some reason they weren't able to model a new look for Bob, which no. Obviously, when it comes to allocating where all their budget goes, Bobert is the first priority. But if we ignore that for a moment, even still, surely they would have been able to do what they did with Antoine or something, just retexture him to make him more Halloween-y and turn him into, I don't know, like a pumpkin or something. So no, I am not looking too deep into this. This is definitely a deliberate choice, definitely, and to find out the rationale behind it, we're gonna have to go back to the show's first ever Halloween special, Halloween. Probably didn't take them too long to think of that title. In said episode, Anais is called out on her Halloween costume's lack of spoopiness, and she replies with,
"Everyone knows cute beats scary when it comes to scoring candy."
I mean, he can't eat any of it, but he still would definitely follow this rule, because he's entirely defined by wanting to fit in with his classmates, right? And, well, on Halloween, it would be no different. So we would probably just, I don't know, give all the candy he gets to the other students to make them like him more so he could get some friends. And obviously, if he were doing that, he would want to maximize the amount of candy he gets to maximize his pool of potential friends. So with this as his primary objective, of course, he would need to maximize the cuteness of his outfit, and that brings us right on to his outfit, or lack thereof. Bobert would, of course, understand this principle, and given his track record, he'd probably follow it to the letter. So surely the fact that he doesn't wear a costume innately implies that there is no modifier he can put on to increase his cuteness, for he is objectively the cutest thing possible. Which is why he goes as himself for Halloween. Bob is objectively the cutest character in Tawog. There is no other explanation for this. I win. Boom. Bye-bye.
But Benjamin, you clever flesh collar boy, like Bobert isn't the only character here not wearing a costume. Unless you think Miss Simeon is Bobert, your cute argument and holds about as much war as a Scooby-Doo big grain cracker snack cinnamon made with whole grain.
I understand why you would say this. This does both seem like a faulty argument, and a great time to reference Scooby-Doo graham crackers. But no, my argument is sound and holds just as much water as, this Scooby-Doo novelty mug, which, I mean, it's not a ridiculous amount, but it's enough to do its job, I guess. There is a logical explanation for why every character here not wearing a Halloween costume isn't, with the exception of Bobert, meaning that his lack of one has to be a deliberate choice. So, if you allow me to go down the list here, Miss Simeon doesn't wear a Halloween costume here, but she's at work, and as a teacher she probably wouldn't be able to wear a Halloween costume while on the clock. This is evidenced in a later Halloween special where on Halloween, when she's not working, she does wear a costume, with the exact same rule applying to Principal Brown and Mr. Small in the exact same 2 episodes. Carrie's a ghost obviously, so a costume would just fall straight through her, so she physically can't wear one. Tobias tries to wear one, but seemingly has an allergic reaction to the face paint he used and just doesn't bother with the rest of the costume. But this was just a one-time mistake on his part. He wears this Captain Planet-inspired outfit in his later Halloween appearances, seemingly not bothering with face paint anymore. And finally, that brings us to Idaho. Sweet, innocent Idaho, who very much like the state he was named after, never actually existed. So, there we go. All counter-arguments have been dealt with. I've scientifically proven with questionable accuracy that Bobert is canonically the cutest character in this show, but like actually this time. So, that of course brings up the natural question, why? Why did you draw any attention to this very tenuous link between 2 episodes of the same show, based on the same theme while still somehow managing to make it feel like a stretch? Well, first of all, I'll have you know, all of the best arguments are primarily backed up by speculation. But besides that, this link between these 2 episodes gives us solid evidence that Bobert is adorable. And in tandem with his simplistic design, this gives us equally solid evidence that Bobert is marketable. And I'm pretty sure you can see where I'm going with this. CN, Cartoon Network, the former home of Chop Socky Chucks. Make a Bobert plush. We all want it. You know it will sell. I made a 7-minute YouTube video on the subject. That's pretty much the same as being an expert in product development. So make the plush, or I swear to Bob, I will go to your offices and...
Task complete.